Hello bibliophiles, this is Shraddha. Welcome back to my channel. This video is really special for me because I've been talking to so many authors from quite a time now, and whenever I talk to someone, there are just some things that become your favorite, some things that you keep on thinking about even after a long time, like since the interview obviously. So this particular chat is very special for me because there were so many memorable memories that I made. Wow, memorable memories, I'm just so great. Like so many great moments that I had, and I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity to talk to Nicole. She is absolutely fantabulous and she's amazing, and I'm so lucky that I got the chance to talk to her. It really was an amazing interview, and I had heaps and heaps and heaps of fun talking to her, and I really hope that you have at least half as much as fun that I did. Well, that's all I have to say for now. I do not wish to keep you any longer. Please continue watching. Please welcome the sensational author, Nicole Adrianne. First of all, thank you so much, Nicole, for being here. It's such an honor and lovely to have you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I've been waiting to be on your channel for a while, so I'm glad we could finally find the time.
Yeah, me too. So, as I told you before, I have got a bunch of questions. Would you please answer them?
Absolutely.
My first question, what has influenced you the most as a writer?
I would definitely say just being a lifelong reader. I've been reading since I was 3 years old, and the books that I read while I was a kid and a teenager definitely influenced me. For example, I would say Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events. That had a huge effect on my vocabulary and the narrative style that I use in my books. Aaron Hunter's Warrior Cat series, I'm still a huge fan. I'm still reading that to this day as an adult. And the fast pace of those books and just the way she manages so many characters and plot lines, it's absolutely phenomenal, even though it's a series written for kids. So definitely that's taught me a lot about pacing. And then lastly, I would say the Hunger Games trilogy. That's what awoke my interest in the dystopian genre. And that has influenced my writing a lot as well.
Nicole, now as a reader, I've always wondered, now you write in dystopian, so I think you could answer that.
Yeah.
Why are all the dystopian novels so dark? Is the future really that dark?
I know, I ask that to myself sometimes, and I've kind of taken my novels in a whole different direction. I've been making my novels clean and pretty lighthearted, with the exception of Girl in the Dark. That's the only novel I've written that is dark, and it literally says dark in the name, so I feel like that should warn people. But I've gone in a totally opposite direction because I think dystopian as a speculative fiction genre has so many possibilities for tone and mood, and it doesn't have to be so dark. Just because there's a future setting where bad things are happening, it doesn't mean that the characters need to be dark or that only bad things can happen, you know?
I so agree with that. All right. My next question, do you like audiobooks, physical books, or ebooks better, and why?
I am a huge ebook addict, mostly because I can't ever get off my iPad. It's like my second hand, my third hand. So I use it all day, every day. So it's just really natural for me to read books on that. Of course, I do love physical books for Instagram. They're just a lot prettier to photograph, but I read ebooks the most.
All right. My next question, what behind the scenes tidbit in your life would probably surprise your readers the most?
I think what would surprise my readers the most is how many struggles that I have with writing and just kind of functioning as a normal human being. I am in the process of getting diagnosed for ADHD and autism. And that surprises a lot of people because of the way I look, the way I act. I can make eye contact, I can understand sarcasm, I can kind of function in most daily life settings. So when I say things like I'm autistic, people say, okay, you're not autistic, you wrote 5 books. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure autistic people can write books because I did it.
Right. Okay, my next question, what is the funniest typo you've written?
Yeah, so I am going to share a typo that I've seen recently. I've actually been working on editing for some other authors lately, more than drafting my own series at the moment. So I think the funniest typo I saw was just this week. This author, she had a character named Channing in one of her books, but it was repeatedly written as Canning. So that made me laugh a lot, and it was like 8 times. So I had to find a place to get it out of her manuscript.
Right. Okay. This is something I really want to know. What are your favorite novels?
Okay, I'm gonna have to break this down into series and standalones because those are like 2 totally different things. So my favorite series, in addition to the ones that I mentioned earlier that influenced me as a writer, I would say the Percy Jackson series is huge. I just adore the characters, the pacing, the plot. It is absolutely ingenious. And then as far as standalones, The Never-Ending Story by Michael Ende is my all-time favorite novel. And I can recommend that to anyone of any age, of any reading ability. It is long and it is absolutely fantastic.
I actually haven't read it. I'll have to read it. But I love Percy Jackson as well. I love Percy Jackson.
Yeah,
and
that's a classic.
Yeah, I know I made my sister read it, and now she loves it so much. I think she's already read it twice. I don't love it when
Wow.
Yeah, it's so amazing when people actually like your favorite books.
Mm-hmm. It is, so, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What genre do you dislike the most, and what genre do you like the most?
Well, surprise, surprise, my favorite genre is young adult.
Yes.
And it's always sci-fi, fantasy, dystopian. It's never really contemporary. I would say anything contemporary is the genre that I dislike the most because I read as an escape from reality and to take me to totally other worlds and other places. So I feel like if I want a story about a coffee shop, I can just go to a coffee shop. But no shade on the contemporary authors. They are amazing and talented, and they have an absolutely huge audience. So they do very well.
You know, when someone asks me what genre do I dislike the most, I'd say self-help in a heartbeat. I mean, I literally get so bored while reading them, and I know many people. In fact, my favorite uncle loves reading them, and he's so crazy about it that every time I meet him, he'll recommend me like 10 books, and then he's like, "You need to read them." And most of the times, I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't even like them." Do you read self-help?
You know, I do. I read a lot of self-help and psychology, but not like like I don't read Girl Wash Your Face, and I don't read like, what was it, the Anna Kendrick book. Like, those are fine, and that's cool if you want like the inspirational, new agey kind of stuff. I go for the science-backed, the psychology-based self-help books. For example, Quiet by Susan Cain is about introverts and just how to navigate life as an introvert. I first read that at 16, and it completely changed my life and the way that I looked at myself, and it genuinely did help me. In fact, this week I just started reading a book called Hustle and Float that apparently was on the New York Times bestseller list for a while, but I had never heard of it. So I started reading that, and it's about balancing productivity with creativity in a career that requires you to have both, like being an author. So yeah, I do love self-help books, but only the science-backed kind.
I think I'm gonna read Quiet. It actually sounds like me.
It absolutely just changed my life and totally raised my self-esteem. I grew up in the southern United States, where it's like, if you're not an extrovert, you really, really, really stand out, and you kind of get bullied a lot. So it really just, it helped me so much, and it really raised my self-esteem as a very quiet teenager. So it was nice getting some validation that that is a totally normal way to be, and that you're still a valuable part of society.
Right. All right. If you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
I would say I'm creative and resilient and decisive. I feel like those are 3 words that can be either really positive or really negative, depending on the situation. And I think that's accurate.
And I've been reading your newsletters, so I think I would like to add kind and generous because I read what you did for those Ukrainian civilians, and I was so deeply touched. Thank you for
Aw,
remembering the point of view. That's really kind of you. You're just
thanks so
great.
much. It's been an amazing opportunity to have that family in our house. Me and my parents, we've learned so much from them just about living simply and about keeping the right priorities in life. Like we're just so pleased that we have this opportunity to help them.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Now we have this round called this and that. I'm gonna give you two choices, and you choose the one that you prefer. Sounds good?
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Let's get started. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Paranormal fantasy or sci-fi?
Sci-fi for sure.
See the future or change the past?
See the future.
I actually saw that one coming.
Yeah, I mean, dystopian, spec fic, it's pretty obvious.
Time machine or magic wand?
Time machine, so I can go to the future.
Like always the future, never the past.
I would probably sneak over to the past a few times, but that's not mostly what I'm interested in.
Now, out of curiosity, Nicole, did you ever like history as when you were studying it as a subject?
I did. I had that phase where I was super obsessed with Egypt. Like, I feel like every pre-adolescent girl has an ancient Egypt phase where they just get really obsessed. I don't know if that's true for everyone, but I've talked to my friends and we're all like, yeah, the Egyptology phase. So that was big when I was like 8. And I think ancient Greece and Rome were really cool. So there are definitely some cultures that I am highly interested in, just in how they function and to see if our historical records of what they were like are really accurate, because I have a feeling that we're way off with a lot of it. But the future is just infinitely more intriguing to me.
I had this Greek mythology phase, and I became so obsessed with it. Like, I'm reading books, I'm watching videos of Greek mythology. In fact, most people read Greek mythology after reading the Percy Jackson series. It was the other way around for me. So when everyone asked me something about Percy Jackson, I'm like, the real myth was like this, but it was twisted like this, and people would just give me scares because it's completely, it's not something to think about. That actually made me scared. Yeah, and then I had this really weird medieval phase. Then I want to read about everything medieval that happened in India. Yeah, people
Yeah,
have phases. It's crazy.
totally. Yeah, I think I'm currently in my medieval phase.
Yeah.
I'm like right in the middle of that.
What country are you reading? US?
I'm reading a lot of like medieval Europe and also like Asia and Australia and just countries that we don't tend to think about in that time period. There's a lot of good plot ideas.
If you ever read about medieval India, we could actually talk about it someday.
I have not, but I would love to learn more, and just about Indian culture in general. I feel like that's a huge world that I've totally missed out on.
I want to tell you where you should start, but I really can't just say something that, like, not one thing. You will have to read many things to get a full insight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for you. I hope you read it someday.
Thanks. Yeah, I would absolutely love to.
All right. My next question, we kind of went off track. This was supposed to be fun.
That's okay.
English or maths?
What do you think I'm gonna say? Yeah. I surprisingly was really good at math in school, but I hated every second of it.
I hate maths as well. But,
Yeah,
you got that. Yeah.
It's just the worst.
Yeah. Science or history?
Science.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate, but like, why can't I put some vanilla extract in the chocolate product? Like, why not both?
I don't know if you can actually do that. I've never
You
tried
totally
it.
can.
You can
Yeah,
do
you
that?
take cocoa powder and you take vanilla extract, and then you have chocolate and vanilla and whatever you want. You can do protein shake, you can do ice cream. Okay, those are the only two things I've done it with, but they were both really good.
Just before this interview, I had a vanilla ice cream, and I just got reminded of it.
You're so sweet. Do you like ice creams?
I love ice cream. It is like my favorite thing, and I would eat it every day if it didn't make me super fat.
I do that too, but then I have a sore throat, and my throat gets sore so easily. I have
Oh,
to feed myself.
that's so sad. Although I kind of wish I had that problem because it would help with portion control.
All right. My next question: dragons or unicorns?
Dragons, for sure. I love that they're hoarders, and I can kind of relate.
Mm-hmm. Winter or summer?
Okay. That's really hard because I love swimming and roller skating, and I can't do that in the winter, but I hate hot weather, so I can't say that I like summer better. So I'm just gonna say neither.
That's okay. Puppies or kittens?
Kittens, absolutely.
Well, I have a dog, so I really
Yeah, I have 4 cats, so.
That's great. Thank you so much, Nicole, for your time. It honestly meant so much to me. Thank you.
Thanks so much. This was my first author interview, so I feel super special right now, and I'm so happy that I could be on your channel.
Well, you're very special for me too. As there's so much things that happen, but yeah, you're really special for me. Thank you, and I'm so glad I'm your first. First so special. Okay, do not forget me.
Me too. Yes, you made it very easy and fun for me too.
Thank you.
I want to start by thanking Nicole because after so many authors I've talked to, she's one of the most interesting ones I've ever talked to. She's so cool and so fun to talk to, and I really enjoyed it. I can't actually find enough words to express how much fun I had, and that's why I'm just being repetitive. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes I'm just so short on words that I keep on saying the same stuff again and again to put emphasis, but I end up being weird. But the point here is that I really had lots of fun, and for that I have to thank Nicole. And I want to thank you guys for watching this video up till the very end, for being here actually. Thank you so much. If you like this video, then smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe, and sharing is caring, so share this video as well. I'll see you people really soon. In the meantime, please keep reading.